This is not a video of me showing them some other sources that they didn't. I'm just dealing with what they said. This video is only about what they said. And I'm going to show you their deception. I'm going to show you that these people are liars. And they're doing this on purpose. They're either doing it on purpose or they're demons. And they have some spiritual demon on them that's blinding them, making them see something that's not there. All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in the son of the Hamashiach, some call Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. All right. Got a lesson today on the lunar set. This ain't even a lesson. All right, this is just a rebuttal. I don't even know if it's a rebuttal. It's a response to priest HAKAH and brother HASAD of the Genesis Israelite camp, leaders of the Genesis Israelite camp. They've done a recent video. Now, I seen that they did the video. I seen when they posted it. I seen when it was, they put it up there, prior, before it actually aired. And I had no interest in watching the video. I've done videos debunking the lunar Sabbath already. I know in the video that I present on the debunking the lunar Sabbath, they've heard everything. They're just not going to listen. They're just stiff-hearted. They want to follow it the way they want to follow it. It's just, I'm not going to waste my time trying to go back and go over something I know they already looked at and already got confounded on. I seen one time brother said the Pentecost was 100 days. At that point, when you respond to me with that, I'm done. I know it ain't nothing I could say to you, and it's no length that you won't go to try to prove your point. And we're gonna see this same thing. There's no length that these brothers will go to try to prove a point. Now, that's one thing I want to show y'all first. You can go here. If you go to the YouTube page, you can go search across the channel, type in lunar, LU, and you got debunking the lunar Sabbath 2021, and you got part 2 2021. All right, you got, watch this, when does the Sabbath start? That was January 2020. When does the Sabbath start? You got that video. You also got who changed the Sabbath. Let me see if that's there. Did the church change the Sabbath? Okay. Did the church change the Sabbath? Yes, January 22nd. And maybe after this I may open the slides up for that class. If we need more on this, I'll open the slide, because this is a slide presentation. Going through all the economical councils, all the different councils, and showing you the council and canon law, the Council of Laodicea, canon law, I want to say 19 or 21, somewhere in between there, showing you where they changed the Sabbath. It said you better not rest on that day like the Jews do. We're going to do it on this day. Which is more evidence that this, that they were doing it on this particular day. But I just wanted to show y'all that, to show you that the information is there. If you want to get the information, did the church change the Sabbath? You have that there. When did the Sabbath start? You have that there. And the lunar Sabbath being debunked. You have that there. So when I seen them doing this, we done went over this already.
56?
We done went over it already. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't care to watch it. I wasn't going to do no response video to it. But then a sister hits the comments and says, Brother Phineas, I just watched these brothers Genesis, and I'm confused. They saying that worshiping on Saturday and keeping the Sabbath on Saturday is pagan. But that's ultimately what these brothers have concluded, that you're worshiping Saturn when you worship on Saturday. And Saturday does, deal with Saturn. But to say that Israelites are dealing with Saturday, and, it's problematic. All right. And so we're not even going to go on offense. This is not a video of me showing them some other sources that they didn't. I'm just dealing with what they said. This video is only about what they said. And I'm going to show you their deception. I'm going to show you that these people are liars. And they're doing this on purpose. They're either doing it on purpose or they're demons. And they have some spiritual demon on them that's blinding them, making them see something that's not there. Or these jokers know what they're doing and they're purposely deceiving the people. Because they so stiff-hearted, they don't want to say, you know what? We are bad. This is really, okay, this lunar stuff really ain't it, Instead of just changing. So let's deal with the information. Let's deal with what they're saying. And I ain't watch all that video. This only like the first 3 points. And really after this ain't no need to watch the rest of it. I can't trust you.
56 to 120, right?
Oh no.
56 to 120.
This is the Publius Cornelius Tacticus, Roman historian. All right, and they banking on, he lived around 56 AD. I guess that's the 120 AD.
Right? Tacitus Histories, Book 5.
All right, Tacticus.
What does he say?
What does he say? What does Tacticus say?
The Jews observed Saturday to honor Saturn as it was the Roman ordinance.
Did Tacticus say that? He put it on a slide. He put on there Tacticus Historians Book 5. Is that what Tacticus said? And he knows that you're not gonna go look what Tacticus said. We're gonna look today. We're gonna look today. First off, let me just show you this. Let me show you this. And we gonna come back to this. Let me show you this. Hold on, my good people. Bear with me. I know y'all anxious, especially my Genesisites. I know you're anxious. We gonna show you this. Tacticus and the defamation of the Jews. Tacticus hated the Jews. You see, he lived around 56 AD. He wrote this book after 70 AD. After the Roman Jews wars. Of course, Romans hate Jews. We just tried to buck against them. Jews do not fare very well at the hands of Cornelius Tacticus. The great consular historian devoted 13 chapters to them at the beginning of the book 5 of his Histories. Chapters constituting a digression from his main text. It's a digression from his text. But he hated Joker so much, he digressed from the subject he was really writing about to give these Joker 13 chapters of how he felt, of his disdain. That's what it's saying. from his main text, but a remarkably extensive one. Tacticus sets them at the point where he intends to embark on the narrative of the Roman siege of Jerusalem in 70 CE. The reason, as he puts it, is that since he is about to relate the demise of a famous city, he thought it inappropriate to say something about its origins. All right, so he starts book 5 talking about how they destroyed these Jews. Something you need to understand first, that Tacticus is a Roman who hates Jews. Okay, but we're gonna come back to this. This ain't what we dealing with. All right, this ain't what we dealing with. I want y'all to hear again what he said here. Hold on, let's go back.
56 to 120, right? Tacitus Histories, book 5. What does he say? The Jews observed Saturday to honor Saturn as it was the Roman ordinance. Wow. So now he's saying that.
Wow. Fake, man. Like, when you know what I know, once you know what I know, once you continue to get through this video, you're gonna go back and you're gonna look at some of these expressions. You're gonna be like, these jokers is really some demons. This is just like what my brother say, what that joker name? Amazing. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Put it in the comments.
At the Jews who were in Rome, they had to keep the Sabbath, to keep Saturday sacred, because it was a national ordinance for Rome to worship Saturn on that day. But we need a bomb.
They had to keep it. We had to keep it on Saturday and worship. We changed the Sabbath to Saturday when we went on the Romans, because we had to worship Saturday the way they worshipped it, which they worship Saturn. And we need to drop a bomb for that.
Everybody, I need y'all to understand what that source just said. This is a primary source too.
I need you to understand. Then he said this is a primary.
This isn't some guy that lives hundreds of years later. This is a guy who's living it, watching it, experiencing it.
He's watching it and experiencing it. This is his words. Jews observe Saturday to honor Saturn.
Experiencing it and wrote it down. The origin, the genesis of our ancestors celebrating the
origin, the genesis came during the time of Christ. So you saying, like, y'all don't even understand what you saying Christ kept the Sabbath wrong his whole life. He says they went into the synagogue as their customs were, and he opened up the book of Isaiah. You saying he did that on the 7th day? He did that on the day of Saturn? He did that to worship Saturn. Doug was out there picking corn. Man, why your disciples are breaking the Sabbath? They were doing that for Saturn? Christ ain't never keep the Sabbath correctly? Y'all don't even be thinking this stuff out before you put this information out, man. What are y'all doing? And that's what I'm saying. It's gotta be something spiritual. I can't believe y'all smarter than this. That's what I give you. I know you don't. Let's go to tactics. Let's go there. Because they didn't want you to go there. They want you to just accept what they saying. They want you to just accept what they saying. Hold on, we here. And these sources are going to be linked in the description box so you can read it for yourself. All right? You can read it for yourself. Book 5. All right, we already read that it's going to start with, Israel's destruction of 70 AD. All right, he lived through it. He's writing this. All right, he's documenting it. They had their triumph. Okay. Now, we ain't gonna read that. We gonna read all the way to here. We gonna read all the way down to here. All right. We ain't gonna get into the character of Judea. All right. Bear with us. He says, as I'm about to relate the last days of a famous city, it seems appropriate to throw some light on its origin. So now Tacticus is about to give us the origin story of the Israelites. Some say that the Jews were fugitives from the island of Crete, who settled on the nearest coast of Africa. Who is the some? Who is that?
Everybody, I need y'all to understand
Primary
what that
source.
source
Who
just
is
said.
the
This is a
psalm that
primary
say
source
this?
too.
So you got some people out here saying it's probably Romans. Man, these jokers came from some Creek island. They were some fugitives that came from some Creek island. That's what some say. Who settled to the nearest coast of Africa about the time when Saturn was driven from his throne by the power of Jupiter. He already throwing in his Roman theology in our origin story, trying to describe us, but he's not describing us to us. He's describing us to Romans and documenting from what Romans tell him. Some say evidence of this is sought in the name. They get evidence from this because of their name. Well, what's the name, Tacticus? There was a famous mountain in Crete called Ida. The neighboring tribe, the Idai, whatever that is in Greek, came to be called Judai. All right, there was a tribe in Crete called a neighboring tribe from Crete, from this mountain in Crete called Idai, came to be called Judai by a barbarous lengthening of the national name. Others, who are these others?
Everybody, I need y'all to understand what that
Some
source
other
just said.
jokers
This is a primary source
assert
too.
that in the region, the reign of ISIS, the overflowing population of Egypt, led by Hieronymus and Judas, discharged itself into neighboring countries. So some other people say that they came from Egypt during the time of the reign of ISIS, and it had an overflow of their population that bled into over here, into some neighboring countries. Many again, some other jokers.
Everybody, I need y'all to understand what that source
race
just
of
said. This is a
Ethiopian
primary
origin,
source too.
who in the time of King Cephas were driven by fear and hatred of their neighbors to seek a new dwelling place. So other people say, well, they came from Ethiopia, and they were fearing, in fear they fled Ethiopia looking for a new place to dwell. Others describe.
Everybody, I need y'all to understand what that source just said. This is a primary source too.
Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, cast out demons in your name, and done many wonders in your name? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you.